I interviewed legendary economist and Nobel Prize winning economist Joseph Stiglitz at the Munich Security Conference. I was away for a little bit, and the reason why I was away is because I was asked to attend that conference and interview various politicians and people like Joseph Stiglitz. And so I wanted to share a few snippets of that interview with you. You can watch the full interview on our channel, and it was a good discussion. And I want to be clear, Stiglitz has so many great ideas when it comes to the economy, the importance of progressive economic policies to help the working class. But there was a portion of the interview that I think, well, I definitely disagree with him on, and I wanted to discuss. So sure. Let's take a look at the first clip.
All the Democratic candidates differ, their differences are small compared to the differences between them and Trump.
I mean, that's a low bar, though.
That's a low bar.
It's a very low bar.
You're absolutely right. But no, let me emphasize, though, that if you ask a set of principles, okay, they're all in favor of access to health care for all. They're all in favor of gun control. They're all in favor of reproductive rights. They're all in favor of giving opportunity for everybody in our society. They're
you think Mike Bloomberg is in favor of all those things?
Yeah. And he actually has come out in support of more progressive taxation. And I think he really means it. Not as progressive as Elizabeth Warren.
Not even close.
So, yeah. But it is still very progressive compared to anything that's happened on the other side.
It's really hard to do my job in someone else's house. I'm just going to be honest, because yes, I'm there representing TYT, but more importantly, I'm invited by non-TYT people to do this, and I'm just going to leave it there. Just because I would have liked to push back a little more aggressively, but I think I was clear.
You pushed him to. He was clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. This has been a depressing show.
It's been such a depressing show.
We gave credit to Meghan McCain.
And Joseph Stiglitz is great. Like he's actually, look, I know I'm showing you the part that I disagree with him on. Please watch the full conversation on our channel, youtube.com/the Young Turks, or watch all the interviews that I've done. If you go to youtube.com/yourmsc, he had great things to say. He's very much concerned about climate change. He thinks the Green New Deal is awesome. Like he's right on a lot of issues. Maybe he's not paying close attention to the primaries. I don't know.
Or he's coming at it from a different perspective. And look, obviously, like we understand fundamentally that we don't agree 100% with literally anyone. There's a great line, I think from Con Air, and it's there's two people I trust. One's me and the other's not you. And I feel that way about agreeing. I agree with myself most of the time. And maybe I don't know, Bernie and AOC. Other than that, we're gonna have some big differences between me and pretty much anyone. And so, on its face, what he was saying was absurd, especially once you brought up Bloomberg. Like he's talked about how minimum wage should literally never go up. He's been quoted in the last decade saying it should literally never go up. He said just a couple of years ago, Social Security and Medicare, they both need to be cut. The age needs to be raised. Like these are not small distinctions.
You're right.
Between him and Klobuchar, let alone Bernie Sanders or someone like that.
Right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's why it was so shocking that he framed the discussion the way that he did. I do want to go to one more clip though. And in this clip, we kind of break down issues with Bloomberg a little further. Can you argue that someone's really in favor of progressive policies when he's literally exploiting one of the biggest viruses in our democracy right now, which is money in politics? He is entering this race late and he's attempting to buy this election. Is that acceptable?
We live in what economists call the world of second best. And clearly, I think all of us would prefer a reform in our politics, and one of the chapters in my book, I try to describe the imbalance of political power, where we've moved to a system of $1, one vote, then one person, one vote, and you seeing that very viscerally, and in the idea of possibly having two billionaires, or at least one alleged billionaire, one real billionaire, duking it out.
Right.
But as I said, we need that reform. I hope whoever gets in office on the Democratic side, that's going to be one of the first things they do.
So he's hoping that even if someone like Bloomberg gets elected, one of the first things that he would do is try to get money out of politics. I disagree with him completely. I don't think that that's likely to happen if Bloomberg ends up getting elected.
I think that if Bloomberg gets elected, he's going to want to set up a very strict system of public financing of campaigns for his reelection, where everyone has the same amount of money. We're all on a level playing field. I think he'll do that. This is a depressing show that you've set up. Not in general, it's important news, but
no, Trump did something to the
break
Democrats.
people.
Yeah, because like I said, I don't want to unfairly paint Stiglitz as this terrible person who's,
of course,
yeah, because he's not. But at the same time, he's just wrong. He's wrong about Bloomberg, 100%. And I think it's because there is this obsession with beating Trump that they're willing to do it at all costs, even if the person who ends up beating Trump is a lot like Trump.
And the thing is, like, I'm even sympathetic to a let's beat him at all costs strategy in general terms. He's so obviously not the guy who could do that.
Right.
I mean, you literally just like I know that polls aren't supposed to mean anything, but like how many years of head-to-head polls do we need to see that they just reject and bury that one and then Bernie beating Trump for 3 years, let's pour some dirt over that. Bloomberg, let's get him. We've got no evidence. We've got no actual data-driven reason to believe that he can beat Donald Trump. And Donald Trump is already delighting on social media of antagonizing Bloomberg.
Right.
So if that was actually your motivation, was just let's beat Donald Trump no matter what, how could you possibly have ended up believing that Bloomberg was a good idea?
And I want to be clear, Stiglitz wasn't making the case that Bloomberg is best suited to beat Trump. That wasn't what he was saying at all.
I think he wants to be his VP.
No, he was not. Don't do that. But he was trying to make a point about how anyone would be better than Trump. And I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that there are a lot of concerning similarities between Trump and Bloomberg. And I know if the Democratic establishment is watching this, their heads are exploding. I don't care. It's true. When you have more than 60 allegations of sexual harassment against Bloomberg, when you have Bloomberg's record of racism and transphobia, when you have Bloomberg's unwillingness to really offer anything to fix this broken economic system. I mean, he's exploited it for himself. I mean, he worked alongside the CIA to spy on innocent Muslim students with no cause. How is he any better, really? So if you condemn Donald Trump for all those reasons, you have absolutely no reason to defend Mike Bloomberg and prop him up as the best Democratic candidate. And again, that's not what Stiglitz did, but I think it is important for Stiglitz and other Democrats who I respect to draw distinctions between people like Bloomberg and the rest of the Democratic field.